I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to episode 24 of Aussie Cluff, our bid to return Nottingham Forest to the top of European football and of course our first season in the Premier League. There we are, look at that, in there with the big guns, including Aston Villa, who we formerly managed of course. You can see last year it was Manchester United that won the title. I think Villa ended up fourth, if memory serves me correct. There's probably a way we can check this if we go to stages and go back a season. So there's how the league ended up last year. Yeah, so United ahead of City rather comfortably, Arsenal and Villa in fourth. But of course that's the past. Let's have a look at the season preview this year. And you can see we are 1,000 to 1 to win the league. Firm favourites for relegation along with Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday who came up with us. And also Fulham, which could be an important game for us to look out for. But you can see it looks like it's going to be West Brom, Brighton, Middlesbrough, Bristol City and Stoke. But they're probably going to be the teams that are down around there with us. Our goal for this season, according to the board, is to bravely fight against relegation, which basically means they're expecting us to get relegated. So we really have nothing to lose. But this is how pre-season went. Let's start off with that. You can see some pretty good results, some very promising results. We started away to all these games were away from home. We were chasing the money. Started away to Dagenham Redbridge, big money game as you can imagine. It was a scrappy first hit out. Elazar and Njoku got the goals. We actually went behind. We were 1-0 down at half time, and I was not happy. But we ended up getting that result. Tamworth, one of our affiliate clubs, or maybe our only affiliate clubs, 1-0 win. It was poor Mooney, our young defender, that got the goal. But don't let that score fool you. We were absolutely dominant. We just could not score. We had 31 shots on goal and they had none. We did not concede a shot on goal. So although it says 1-0 and although it looks really disappointing, it really wasn't. It was just a frustrating game where we could not score, which obviously is a problem, but we got a little bit better as you can see. Oldham, 3-0, we won this one. We scored some scrappy goals, but the general play was much improved. It was Sawyer Malacase and Louis Mars that got the goals, as you can see. So that was good. That was signs of things getting better. Then we played Sochaux, the French club, of course, and things started to kick up. Here you can see it was continued improvement, and Callum Mosley absolutely brilliant with a hat-trick. Zelaw got our fourth. Again, we went behind in this game, but we came back quite well. Then the result of pre-season, without a doubt, I'd say, Atletico Bilbao. Away to them as well. Things really started to click here. Zelaw was absolutely superb. He got a hat-trick. I think he laid on about 2 or 3 of the other goals as well. Elazar got 2. Curtis Jones with a 6th, but 6th one against Bilbao, who are a good Spanish team. Then we went away to Dortmund. This was our sort of glamour tie. And we gave a really good account of ourselves against what is a really, a top European team. We went 2-0 down early on, just a bit of class that was a bit too good for us, and I was a little bit concerned. But look at that, Mosley and Jones, 80 and 88th minute, snatched the draw for us. And to be honest, we were pushing for a win at the end. So it was a really good performance. I was quite happy with that. Then we went and played, I'm assuming that's Intella, you would pronounce that. We were going through the motions in this one. It was sort of a last hit out, just give match fitness. It was I started what I considered to be our best team. Second half was just about giving minutes to people. Mosley, Zelaw and De Silva Lopez got the goals. It wasn't great, to be honest. The whole team was complacent and it wasn't fantastic. But got the result, and we did not lose the game in pre-season, which was quite promising. Now, of course, for the Premier League, we knew we had to strengthen, so let's go and have a look at the strengthening. And here we go. Now, there's a couple of names you're going to notice straight away. Callum Mosley, we signed him on a permanent deal. You can see at 5.25, raising to 6.75. We know what he's all about. You can see he's already valued at just under 10 million, 14 grand a week we're paying him. Really, really happy to get that across the line. And to be honest, I thought we got him at an absolute bargain. The extra money, I think it's for goals and like 50 goals and 50 appearances for the club, I think. There may be something else in there if we win the Premier League or something. But yeah, I was really happy to get that deal across the line for so cheap. I teased it last episode as well. Elazar, we signed him permanently, 20 million you can see, raising to 24.5. This was a massive chunk of our transfer budget, more than half actually. But he's been absolutely brilliant for us. 40 goals last season. I could not see a reason not to spend the money on him, to be honest. Maybe attribute-wise, he's not necessarily worth 20 million, but I think considering he's already settled into the club, we want to hit the ground running this year. And let's face it, he fired us to the FA Cup final. So I was really happy to get that deal across the line as well. So we've got the big 2 up front, which is good. Charlie Clark from Everton, you can see just 30,000 pounds for this guy. Really highly rated by the scouts. He's 23 and the stats don't look that good, do they? But I think the scouts rated him at like 85. They're really, really high. And I thought for the sake of £30,000, it was just over 3 grand a week. I was okay with it. If he gets better, fantastic. If he doesn't, even if we sell him on now, we've made what 100% profit or whatever that would be, add a zero onto the price basically. So I've signed this guy basically on the advice of scouts, and we're going to see if he comes off. If he doesn't, we haven't really lost that much. Steve Griffiths, of course, we had him on loan last year, 1.2 million. We absolute steal from Manchester City. You can see he's already valued at 8.25 million. 37 grand a week, big money we've got him on, but I think he's worth it, isn't he? 23. He's young as well. He's still going to get better, and quite happy with that. And Elazar, you may have noticed too. 38 grand a week for someone who scored 40 goals in the championship. I don't think is that bad, but let me know what you think. Fernando Rosa, Uruguayan, you can see 20 years old. We signed him on a free transfer, so literally a steal. He's already valued at 2 million, 7.5 grand a week. You can see first touch is good, passing 16 is good, vision is good as well, flair 15. I think he's going to be very useful. His finishing isn't fantastic. It's just going to let me go hover over the... No. Finishing isn't fantastic. I wish I could sort of point it out for you with the cursor, but it's not going to let me do it. So we're looking, I think, as more of a deep lying sort of more traditional midfielder, or maybe on support, maybe on attack, or an advanced playmaker on support, maybe in behind strikers. If his dribbling continues to improve, then we could certainly see him being used in that role. For 20 years old on a free transfer, we have really nothing to lose, and I think he's going to do a good job for us. Again, he was highly rated by our scouts. Michael Vasquez, signing from my own personal favourite club other than Villa, Sydney FC. Goalkeeper depth. We had Token Aussie. We now have a second Aussie in the team. Another guy that was highly rated. We signed him for just under a million, 950 grand, I think. Already valued at 4.4. The big difference between him and Token Aussie is the passing. Token Aussie has a passing of 15. Vasquez, as we can see, only 7. But Vasquez better reflexes. So, it's tossed up between the two of them. I don't know who our number one's going to be yet. Vasquez, I think, long term is a higher rated goalkeeper, but for this season, it might be a little bit of who's playing well and you get the spot until you lose it kind of thing. So I think we might start with Vasquez being the new signing, but I'm not convinced he's going to be the number one long term. And then Alexander Deneby, 2 million. He's a Swedish defender. And yeah, you can see good, not great pace, but good pace. I wanted someone a little bit more pacey in there. Good anticipation as well, which is good to have somebody to play in the middle. We're going to play him as sort of a cover on the cover. So happy with all that. Not bad in the air. Good strength as well. Good balance. So I think he'll do well. One thing we noticed about Deneby here, very, very orange hair. So I think what we're going to have to do is just call him what he is. He is now going to be Ed Sheeran. We're going to have Ed Sheeran anchoring our defense for us. Yeah, with hair like that, what else can we do? Hands are tied, aren't they? But you can see, we'll just click back there. Again, already considered to be a good Premier League player. So for 2 million, you can see he's already valued at 6. I thought we did really, really well to get him. Just the 2 outs, we kept most people. We couldn't get rid of Tilly on a permanent deal, but you can see his contract, I think his contract's up in this year. I can't remember if his contract's up or if it's just a loan. But anyway, 100% of his wages being paid, 250 grand a month we're getting for him. So we're getting a nice chunk of cash. Even if he does leave at the end of the year, I think we have better options. So I'm not disappointed. We'll get 10 months of that, so we'll get 2.5 million for him. Plus we don't pay his wages, and he's on decent money too, I think, isn't he? 11 grand a week. So I think we will have done okay, even if we just lose him at the end of the season. Ollie Barnett, we signed him in League One just to kind of help us get over the line. You can see we've got 57 grand a week coming in for him. Again, 100% of the wages being paid. He has a more long-term future at the club. He can still improve, and you can see his vision is still quite good. So he's not necessarily gone forever. I just wanted to make sure he was getting football this season. I don't think right now he's going to play in our team. So we just want to get him out playing and see what the future holds for him out there. But you can see we're bringing 3 million back in. We've spent just under 30. So we still have about 2 million, I think, in the bank. If we just actually have a look at the bank, give you a finance update, you can see not looking great, but we do have a lot of TV money coming in, of course, this season. We have just 2 million, just over 2 million in the bank. Wages, I think we have about 12 more grand a week we can spend. So essentially, we have maybe another player. We could manipulate some of the transfer budget into wages and get one more player in. But I'm pretty happy with what we have, and barring any unforeseeable circumstances. That's pretty much it. Maybe January we could look to do something on loan, and hopefully then the club finances will have picked up somewhat, and we can maybe ask for a little bit more cash as well. Now, of course, being 2026, it means there was the World Cup in the summer, and it was hosted by the USA, strangely enough. So they got that one right, because that wouldn't have been announced when this came out. So that's impressive. You can see Italy won it extra time over Portugal. But if you want to see how England did, let's go to second round. Let's go to the tree. And you can see second round they beat penalties. Second round they beat Switzerland on penalties, and quarterfinals predictably went out to Germany on penalties. So at the time when this game was made, that probably would have seemed realistic. But now England are just penalty shootout masters, and that probably would not happen. This is coming out or I'm recording this before the Croatia game. It will be released before the Croatia game, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. But yeah, England knocked out in the quarterfinals by Germany on penalties, predictable. And of course, for me, my boys, we didn't quite make it past the group stage. You can see it was Switzerland that pipped us to the post. Had we managed to go through, it would have been Australia, England in the second round. And yeah, given we had a goal difference of -7 over 3 games, and that included a game against Zimbabwe, I don't think that would have ended very well for us. So that's basically where we're at before the season starts. This episode will show Middlesbrough at home. I'll just do the one game because otherwise the episodes get a bit long by the time we run through our transfers and that. I don't want episodes going past the 30-minute mark if I can help it. And of course, for all the best goals of preseason after Middlesbrough, stick around for those because, as you can see, we scored quite a few, and they were getting better with time as well. So definitely worth sticking around for. But onwards to Middlesbrough. And of course, Middlesbrough were one of those teams that were sort of thought to be down and around us, weren't they? So this is the team that we're going with. It's Vasquez in goals, I said to start. We'll give him a run, see how he goes. Suter is going to start left side of the defence, just to give you an update of how his attributes are looking. Very much a limited sort of defender, isn't he? But passing is 9, so it's okay. So we'll give him the season to start. Ed Sheeran, we've already seen him. He's going to play on the cover thanks to his a little bit more pace, a little bit more anticipation. Malakase and Davidson too. We did get them back on loan. I should have said that. So they are both here for this season as well. Malakase is a beast in the air, as we know. So we have the triple towers, but I think, as I said, Ed Sheeran for the pace. Scando is going to start down the left. That's how Scando's getting on these days. And of course, Njoku down the right. We did have a bid for Njoku. I think it was about 10 million from Newcastle. I rejected it, then put like a sneaky offering of him out for 20 million. There's an Italian right back at AC Milan who's much better defensively, but not quite as good with the physical attributes, who we could have got for 1.5 million, I think. So I had a sneaky little offer, but no one was up for the 20 million. So we'll keep Njoku. I'm happy with him anyway. It's going to be Griffiths, who we've already seen. Bobby Mack is going to start this game in midfield, just ahead of Arosa, but we'll give him, he's the incumbent. He's the young academy boy, 19, so we'll let him start. Z-Law, we're going to start him this season. I think we underused him when I look back on last season. He had, was it 12 assists from 10 starts, or was it 10 assists from 12, something like that anyway, 12 assists from 12 starts maybe. I think we underused him last year, so we're going to give him the opportunity to start, and of course we have options on the bench if we need them. Elazaj, we've seen him already, and Callum Mosley. These two, they could be what keeps us in the league this year. So pretty happy to have those guys. So Token Aussie is going to start on the bench. You can see what I mean about his passing is just a lot better. So not sure whether it's going to be him or Vasquez long term. If you have a thought on it, let me know which of our two Aussies, Token or Vasquez, do we start. Jack Cox is on the bench. You can see jumping strength for him is really good as well. Jumping reach, I should say, not jumping strength. De Silva Lopez, we're going to keep him on the bench. He can play left, right, or in the middle. So very good player to have on the bench. Liam Mason, he's the club captain. He starts on the bench as well. Someone that probably could go in for Bobby Mack as well. He has good passing, good vision. Just not quite the consistency yet, which is a little bit worrying, especially since I've made him captain. Curtis Jones is on the bench as well. Someone that can play up front, see decent jumping reach and strength, so he can come in for Elazaj and we don't lose anything defensively. Or he can play in behind as an advanced playmaker where he's more sort of natural, I guess. Passing and vision isn't as good as Z-Law, which is why he's there, but dribbling and acceleration, pace is all a little bit better. So just an option we can play him either up front or in behind. And Louis Mars as well. He wanted a new contract. You can see he's on 19 grand a week now. I tried to avoid giving it to him, but eventually we had to relent. Just basically Callum Mosley replacement, isn't it? Good pace, good acceleration, good agility. Finishing isn't quite as good. He's one of our boys, isn't he? We've had him since League One, so we'll give him a start on the bench for this game. and see where it goes. And you can see sort of the rest of the first team squad there. Marco Toth or Mirko Toth. Marco be Marco, wouldn't it? Yeah, physically wise, very, very good. Just that tackling makes me nervous, but marking wise, okay. So as a wing back, he's not too bad, but we're going to go with Njoku more often than not, I think, this season. Jordan Sawyer, we kept him around the big target man back up. Again, maybe someone I'm underusing, to be honest. He is quite good, but just he's no El Azaj, is he? And of course, Lawrence Bennett, another one of these advanced playmakers, attacking midfielders that can also play up front. Doesn't Again, the finishing is what probably pulls him back as a striker. The passing and vision are what hold him back as an attacking playmaker. But again, physically, the pace is there. So especially if we're forced to play on the counter late in games, or if there is space in behind late in games, a very good option there. And his flair is quite good as well. But that's enough of me babbling on. Let's get on with Middlesbrough. All right, so what, 4-2-3-1 we would call that. Now, unfortunately, I had signed some new scouts over the off-season, which means that we didn't have a pre-season or a pre-game next opposition scouting report. So I'm not completely sure. I didn't know that was their formation. I fixed it now, but of course it's a bit late now. Team talk-wise, show me what you can do. I think we're at home. Let's give the fans something to cheer today. First Premier League game and all. I'm wondering if I should have said that passionately, but it's too late now. Let's go out there. Let's give the Brian Clough Arena its first taste of Premier League football. All right, this is a very winnable game for us too. So hopefully we can get off to a positive start here. Scando to Bobby Mack. And I should say too, at the time of recording, the poll for goal of the season last season isn't yet closed, but it's very tight between Bobby Mack's goal against Birmingham City and James Tilley against Sheffield United. So it looks like it's going to be one of those two. I apologise for that Marco Toth goal that's in there for this one of the four. That was what the game gave us as goal of the season. So I didn't think I even put that in goals of the month. I didn't think it was any good, but apparently it's the goal of the season according to the game. So that's why it's in there. I apologise. There was better goals in the honourable mentions than that. I'm aware of that, but I always put the game's goal of the season in, and I almost broke my rule, but I didn't, and I probably should have. So apologies for that. Ahmed Zobic. Now we had him at Villa, didn't we? So it's good to see him still going in the Premier League. Let's see if we can get a foot in here somewhere. I really feel like, oh, don't like this, don't like this. Oh no. That's not the start we wanted. Damn. We're keeping the same tactics that we used in the championship, and I do feel that we were so dominant that we should be okay and get away with it. That was not good defending. Look at Ed Sheeran there. That is an orange head of hair. I'm certainly definitely glad that we've named him properly, because that is a head of hair right there, isn't it? All right, let's not go and concede a second here, boys. Come on, Njoku, you're better than that. We're better than this. Oh, come on, we're not doing ourselves justice. It's more or less the same team that we had last year too. It's just Ed Sheeran, and it is just Vasquez in goals that is different. We are getting played in behind. We're going to have to drop a little deeper here, I think. Oh, no. Oh, just over the bar. Right, let's pause that. This game, as I said, I'm a little bit blind because I didn't realize we weren't going to have scout reports. I don't usually check, to be honest, in preseason friendlies because I'm not that bothered. It's just more about being happy with how we're playing and getting the match fitness there. But yeah, in hindsight, I wish I had checked because maybe I would have realized that we didn't have any scout reports. There was an analysis report, but unfortunately that just sort of tells you the expected formation, which was based on last season, so it was pretty much useless anyway, as it turns out. All right, here we go. Griffiths, nice touch for Bobby Mack. Bobby Mack over for Scando. We're very narrow. We're over the top for Njoku. He's got space in behind him here. Can he get down and get across? We've got El Azaj in the box. We've got so many men in the box. Back post, Callum Mosley to Scando. Goal! That's more like it, and we're underway in the Premier League. That is a special goal for us, isn't it? Not a bad goal either. Mosley just tapped it back and Scando. I think he got one like that right at the end of last season, didn't he? I can't remember if it was the Birmingham game or the Burnley game maybe. Well, I think it was the one where we might have won the league title. We got a very similar goal to that. So if he can keep popping up in those positions, we'll be more than happy. There's a decent tackle from Zelaw inside for Griffiths. Can we launch a counter-attack? Back to Zelaw. Need one of his Iniesta passes. I thought he was going to run into the back of a teammate there. Elazar gets a flick on for Callum Mosley. Can he beat his man? No, there's no one there. But Njoku in loads of space. Can he get across in for Elazar? It's in there. It's headed away from Ahmedzovic. Griffiths back to Njoku. It's still there for us. Come on, boys. Gets the cross in. Callum Mosley! Oh, just over the bar. Oh, you wonder if that had fallen to Elazar instead of Mosley, if that would have ended a little bit differently for us. But we've come right back into this game. Look at that. Oh, Jake Doyle-Hayes was on the bench for them as well. He was someone we bought through at Villa. He was, I think, we had him training as a halfback to be Jedinak's long-term replacement. We're not going to get. I want to get a concentrate in before half time, but not going to have time for that now. But if we can get in at 1-1, considering we went behind, that won't be the worst result. Team talk wise, I mean, we weren't fantastic. Do we tell them that? I'm thinking maybe we do. Those match ratings could be a lot better. You wonder if there's a little bit of maybe an inferiority complex. I don't know if the game sort of takes that sort of thing into account, but I think everyone looks up for it. So we'll give it 10-15 minutes, and then we can look to the bench, I think. I did just make a small tactical change there to exploit the flanks, particularly Njoku was in loads of space quite a bit. We've definitely looked better since we dropped the defensive line a little bit deeper as well, so that might be something I have to consider doing from the start. Ed Sheeran's looking nervous, which isn't fantastic. Let's give him some encouragement. He's on debut. We do have Cox on the bench, so we can look to make that change. Zelaw's not having his best game, so we might look at maybe taking Zelaw out for Jones. Mosley being on a card is slightly worrying, but given that he is a striker, I think we can deal with it. We've told him not to get a second booking, and he's usually okay. Not a fan of Sheeran looking very nervous. That makes me a little bit anxious. There's a ball for Elazar! Oh! Almost from nothing. That is a wonderful cross, and if Elazar, this is what he offers, isn't it? If he can keep putting headers in like that, that was unstoppable. I'm not sure if the keeper got a hand to it into the net, but that was unstoppable and wonderful stuff. And can we go again? Griffiths knocks it in. Ed Sheeran! Oh, Callum Mosley retrieves. Is that going to go for a throw? Is that a penalty? I don't think it was a penalty. No, again, everyone just seemed to freeze there like the ref had given a penalty. Right, that seems to have got Ed Sheeran back just into the world of nervousness, not very nervous. Let's give them a concentrate here. Can we start and wind this game down? Elazar just looking tired. Scando's looking tired. What can we do here? Do they still have... They've changed their formation here. They've gone... Are they a man down? They're a man down. Okay, so that makes life a little bit easier for us, doesn't it? I'm wondering, all right, what we might do is we might take Njoku off for the Silva Lopez, just freshen things up. We might just play our wing backs a little bit more defensively, and we might just switch this to control. We might drop that back to just flexible, and we'll go from there. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit crackly. I had a bit of a flu thing all weekend, so hopefully it's not too painful to listen to. But this is coming into the end here. Oh no, can we get a foot in? Vasquez is there. Great stuff though. This should be it, boys. We have got our Premier League campaign underway with 3 points. and every point is going to be crucial, isn't it? Especially at home against a team that Preseason is expected to be down there with us. So that I think we can be quite happy with. We'll give it a passionate well done. That's a good win for us, and on we go. Forest in control as Borough brushed us. So I don't know if we were in control, but certainly coming back from a goal down is nice. Ed Sheeran makes his debut. Vazquez as well, obviously. I think our two debutants did relatively well, didn't they? Scando was absolutely brilliant. Let's go defensive work. Never quite sure what to tell a defender because he's actually good for his attacking work. But that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's not a bad debut in the Premier League, is it? We'll be back next time, so it'll be on Thursday. We have to come back, I think, Villa, don't we? Former club in the Premier League. Villa, of course, for those who are interested, we saw they came fourth in the Premier League last year, lost the Champions League final 1-0 to Barcelona. But yeah, so that'll be a good game. That'll another home game for us. And then Fulham, I think, will be a big game as well, won't it? Because they were predicted to be, I think they were equal 1,000 to 1 for relegation. So they're considered equal favourites with us to go down. So I think that'll be a big episode, a big test against a Champions League finalist. And then, of course, Fulham, a fellow relegation rival away. So that'll be on Thursday. So make sure you're subscribing if you're new to ensure that you catch that. If you have enjoyed the video, if you like the summer signings, even if you just feel generous, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. It helps people find the channel and is greatly appreciated. Let me know in the comments, by the way, what you think too of the transfers. Did we strengthen well enough? Should we done more? Should we done less? Should we given more people from last season a try? So what do you think? Do you think we can stay up? I think we'll give it a fair shake, if I'm honest. But I'm rambling. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on Thursday. And here are our best goals from preseason. Take care.